Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Simba and I are dressed up because we are doing a Happy New Year's wreath. Here is the sign for the one I'm going to be using. You like this one? I do too, Simba. See, it says Happy New Year. But if you possibly feel like you don't have time to order one, I'm going to include a video right here where I made my own sign. It's a circle little sign. It was so easy to do, and I used Dollar Tree supplies. Now, of course, before we get started on the video, I know you want to see his little outfit. We have a bow tie in the front. That's right, we're wearing a tuxedo. Look at this, you guys. That's right, and I managed to put it on without any bloodshed on my part. So thank you so much, Simba, for cooperating. We appreciate it. All right, you guys, let's get started. Let's go over the supplies for this wreath. I'm going to start with only one roll of 10-inch in width by 10 yards in length roll of Deco mesh, and this is one of the best methods to use on that one roll of Deco mesh that you can't match with anything else. This is also the most economical way to use up this roll because it only uses one roll to make your wreath base look like we've just used 21-inch Deco mesh. For my mesh tubing, I'm going to be using this beautiful gold one and this iridescent white one. They are going to simulate fireworks. And as you know, fireworks come in many colors. So if you want to get a little bit more colorful, you can definitely go in your stash and get some leftover mesh tubing from previous projects and use as many colors as you want. I'm going to need 18 pipe cleaners, some floral wire because that is how I'm going to attach the sign. This particular one is 22 gauge wire, a metal 14-inch wreath form. For my sign, I'm going to be using this one and I'll attach the link in the description box below where I got it. And to finish up, I am going to be using a placemat. I do get this one at the Dollar Tree. Some 6-inch zip ties, and I will link them in the description box below. I'm also going to be using some wire cutters, scissors, and a crocodile. This is to punch holes at the bottom of my sign. We're going to be using the 18 pipe cleaner method. So that means we're going to put 3 pipe cleaners in each one of the 6 sections. To start out, I'm going to put a pipe cleaner in the center of row 1 and 2, counting from the inside. Give it 2 nice twists and fold it towards the center of the wreath. Then we have row 3 and 4, and that's going to go on the side of the center one. 2 twists, and we're going to fold out. On the other side of the center one, on row 3 and 4, 2 twists, and we're going to fold out. Just like this. 1 in the center of row 1 and 2, and to the sides on row 3 and 4. And I'm going to repeat the same process in the 5 remaining sections. My pipe cleaners are on, 6 on the inside row, and 12 on the outside row. Before we start attaching our gorgeous Deco mesh, let's talk about how we're going to attach. So what we're going to do is double each layer. If I'm starting with this pipe cleaner, I'm going to attach it, zip tie it in place, and then we're going to do 10-inch loops going all the way around on this inner row. Then I'm going to continue and do the same thing and double that inner row basically twice until we get to where we started. Then we're going to go nice and flat from this inside row to the outside row, zip tie right here, and then we're going to start making 9-inch loops. You can definitely do 10-inch loops. I like to do 9-inch loops just to guarantee that I'm going to have enough Deco mesh to finish up my wreath. When I'm done going around with my 9-inch loops, and of course I'm going to get to where I started on the outside row, we are of course going to repeat the process by doubling each row. Now we have 20 inches of Deco mesh instead of the 10, and it's going to be so full, so beautiful, and we're going to end up using the entire roll. And just look how gorgeous this is. First things first, you want to make sure that your deco mesh is being rolled onto the table. This is just going to help our poofs get really poofy and beautiful. About 2 inches in, I'm going to collect. Look at this, we have an instant poof connected to our first pipe cleaner on the inner row, and I'm going to do 1 tight twist. Usually we do 2 twists, but because we're going to open these when we're doing the second round, I just do 1 twist. Grabbing my first zip tie, I'm going to go on row 2, and about 1 inch away from this pipe cleaner connection, I'm going to zip tie the tail in place. Cut off the tail, and as you can see, it's such a clean and beautiful tail because that zip tie just straightened it out. The next important thing is not to go loosey-goosey when you're doing this. Keep the deco mesh together, measure your 10 inches, and attach it to the next pipe cleaner. The reason I like to do that is because, as I said, you want to make sure that you have enough deco mesh for the rest of your wreath because we're just using this 1 roll and we're going to make it count. I think even keeping it together, we still kind of go in and out. It's not an exact measurement, but at least this way you are coming as close as possible to those 10 inches. I'm done going all the way around, and by now your pipe cleaners already should have left memory in your deco mesh. So you're just going to untwist it and put that right over. What I like to do for the second row going around is to push that first row aside, measure your 10 inches, and then put it next to the one that's already there. The reason I'm going next to this initial row is because number 1, it's going to help this whole section fill in nicely. And number 2, it's going to help us when we're opening up all the poofs. I'm telling you guys, I've never had a loud deco mesh like this. I'm done going around the second time. And as you can see, I finished where I started. There's that tail of ours. Now I'm going to go flat from this inner row to the outside row, just like that. No poop, nothing, nice and flat. Grabbing a zip tie, I'm going to go on row 3 and zip tie it in place. This is definitely an extra step, but I like to do it to make sure that my poofs are not moving around. The width between the outside pipe cleaners is much shorter, so now I am starting my 9 inches and start attaching. The first outside row is done. I'm going to complete it by going right on top of that first little connection, a twist, and then I'm going to continue making my 9-inch loops, moving this little loop to the side and going on the outside. Now we can do 2 or 3 nice twists to make sure that is secured in place. I'm on my last loop, measured off my 9 inches, and then I'm going to cut off a tail that's about 3-4 inches. We can always cut it shorter, and I'm going to attach it, give it a few twists. And then this tail that we have, we're going to shove it to the back between rows 3 and 4. Once you have your tail, grab another zip tie, and you're going to put it on row 3 and zip tie it. Cut off the tail, cut off anything extra. I wanted to show you the tail, and look, the foil is all out. It's good morning. This is the reason why any foil deco mesh needs to be in a continuous method, whatever method you're going to use. This is my favorite method to use for something this beautiful and shiny. Now that all the poofs are on, we're going to start opening them. What I do is I grab each poof with one hand. The other hand I use to kind of poof it out and open it from the inside out. I have that first poof, then here's my second one, and I opened it. And I'm going to do row 1 and then row 2. I always do this from inside going out, but you can do whatever makes you comfortable and keeps you smiling while making your wreath. Look at this beautiful wreath. It's nice, it's full, and it's about 21 inches from side to side. Now it's time to add our mesh tubing, and I decided to add the orange. I know it doesn't scream New Year's, but this Deco mesh does have an orange strand in it, and it looks more of like a rusted gold than an orange. And I'm going to put only one strand of this orange in each section, 2 of the gold and 2 of the white. So the orange is going to be very gently added, and mainly you're going to see the gold and the white. The mesh tubing, I will be cutting into 10-inch strips, just like that. Measure my 10 inches and off I go measuring it. You are going to need 36 of the white at 10 inches, 36 of the gold, and only 18 of the orange. All my mesh tubing is cut up, and now I'm just going to take 1 of the orange, 2 of the white, and 2 of the gold. Fold the whole bundle in half, find my center, and attach to the pipe cleaner. If you want, you can definitely use your pipe cleaner as part of this because it's supposed to look wild and fun. It's supposed to look like a firework, but if you don't want to do that, go ahead and twist that pipe cleaner up a little bit, about 1 inch or so. Cut the excess tail, fold it in half, and fold it back. And we have our first little mesh tubing bundle. It's a little weird not to be using ribbon for me, but at the same time, this is a New Year's wreath. It's supposed to look fluffy and fun. Now I'm just going to continue filling in the rest of the pipe cleaners with our mesh tubing bundles. I am done attaching all the mesh tubing, and it looks like a firework just went off because of all that sparkle in the Deco mesh and in the mesh tubing. Now it's time to put on the sign. The first thing I'm going to do is take off this jute cord. As you can see, the holes are on the corners, so I'm going to grab my crocodile and I'm going to go on the bigger hole on the side, and I poked a little hole just like the one on top, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Now I'm going to grab my floral wire, and I think I'm going to go about 18 inches. You don't need more than that. And I'm going to cut off 4 strands, and I'm just going to grab each one of these and tie them at each corner. Now that I think I know where I want it, I'm going to flip and start attaching. After I confirmed that I like the sign where it is, I'm going to flip this back over and really secure the floral wire in place. Now that my sign is in place, I'm going to make sure where my top is, and I'm going to use that jute cord that we removed from the sign and put it on that intersection between rows 2 and 3. Make a few knots, cut off the excess. Our hanging loop is in place, and now we're going to cover the back. But first, we need to remove the kitten. I'm going to grab 3 little zip ties and zip tie it in 3 places in a triangle format. As you can see, Simba is not a kitten that gives up. I'm going to cut the little tail and send the sharp part to the back. Those are mine. Thank you very much, Simba. He is not giving up. He wants that zip tie. All the zip ties are in place. If we need to fix something, we can definitely peek in. Our wreath is all done, but you can definitely use this method for any season, any event, especially if it's a birthday or a baby shower. This would look super, super cute, obviously using the appropriate colors. Simba, I know you like the wreath, but what do you think of the outfit? I think it looks adorable and it fits like perfect right now. You like it? But it's cute, Simba. I thought you would like it. I guess no? Okay. Alrighty, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye, guys. Simba, say bye. I guess we need to take the outfit off. Okay, bye guys.